Think your voice doesn't matter when you speak in public? Think again. A flat tone makes you sound bored, even if you're not. Hi there, I'm Marie-Josée from Powerful Communication. I help people become confident, powerful speakers with fun tips and exercises and games to overcome fear and shine when they speak. So why does your voice matter? It's because your voice carries your message, but it also carries your emotions and your intentions. Tone, pace, and volume help you connect, influence, and hold attention. Listeners often respond more on how you say things than what exactly you say. So in this case, your voice is like your second face, so you need to make it shine. Your tone. What is your tone? It's the emotion layer. Think of your tone as your emotional fingerprint. Match your tone to your message. Be enthusiastic, serious, or compassionate when needed. Add contrast, especially for storytelling. The more contrast you add to a story, the more interesting it becomes, the more people want to listen to you. In order to know how you look and how you sound, record yourself with your smartphone or your camera and listen to your default tone of voice. Is it too flat, too low, or even too slow? I once did a voiceover for a promo video. The coach that hired me was behind the camera, and every time I was speaking, she kept saying, "Smile, smile." And I thought at first that this is a little bit strange, but I later realized that the more I smiled, the warmer and the more engaging my voice sounded. Just imagine you speak without smiling, without emotion. Listen to your tone of voice, and when you smile, it's more engaging. You feel like putting it more passion. I still use that tip even today. So when you smile subtly when you speak, it lifts your tone naturally. Your pace. Control your rhythm with your pace. If you speak too fast, your audience will be overwhelmed, especially if in the audience you have non-native speakers. They may not be able to follow you. On the opposite, if you speak too slowly, you'll bore your audience to tears and they'll probably fall asleep. Use pauses when needed to breathe, to emphasize, and let your ideas land. Slow down for big ideas. Speed up for the exciting parts. As a practice, try reading a short paragraph at 3 different speeds to find your best pace. Your volume. You express your power and your emotion. Volume isn't just about being loud. It's about emphasis and authority. Lower your voice when you want to draw in people, your audience's attention. Raise it to make a point. And when you speak, try to speak from your diaphragm, not your throat. The more you speak from your throat, the more nervous you get. So go down into your diaphragm and start speaking from there. Your voice will be even richer that way. The more you speak from the throat, the higher the pitch, and it doesn't sound natural. Also, when you speak, know your space well. Are you going to speak in front of a large audience, a small one? Are you going to speak behind the camera? This will determine the volume that you will need to have. But sometimes a whisper can grab more attention than a shout. Here's a quick vocal warm-up that you can do for about 5 minutes. Breathe. Breathing exercises are very good, and not just for public speaking. Breathing exercises are good for anything in your life. Every time you feel nervous in any situation, take the time to sit down or even just take a stance. Relax yourself and start breathing slowly. If you're going to prepare before speaking, giving a presentation, breathe in for a count of 4 and then breathe out for a count of 6. And depending on the source, some people prefer breathing in and out from the nose. Other people say breathe in from the nose and breathe out from the mouth. Whatever feels more comfortable. But the thing is, you need to do this slowly. If you do this too fast, you could hyperventilate and that could make you dizzy. Also, to practice the muscles, your lips, do some lip trills. For example, you go like this. You don't need to use your voice for that. Some people will do, especially voice teachers, voice coaches will probably tell you to use your voice, but it's not necessary in this case. And you may want to do this when you're alone because it might be considered strange by your peers. So just go with lip trills like this for maybe 30 seconds. Then, to practice your pronunciation, do some tongue twisters. You can start with something a little bit easy. You don't need to start with very complicated tongue twisters because otherwise you won't be able to pronounce them. So start, for example, say red leather, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather. And as you get comfortable with the tongue twister, increase the speed. Red leather, yellow leather. It's even difficult. It's supposed to be an easy tongue twister, but as soon as you increase the speed, it becomes a little bit more difficult. Once you've gotten used to the tongue twisters, you can move on to a more difficult and complicated one. Also do the sirens exercise. So this is to warm up your vocal cords. This time you really do use your voice and you go, ooh. Again, 30, 40, 50 seconds. It's just about warming up your voice and your vocal cords before you're going to give your presentation. Again, suggestion, do this when you're alone. And then after that, when you're ready, you can just have some affirmation, say, I'm going to give a great presentation. Whatever feels comfortable to you, you can say anything you want. You say, I can do this. I'm a good speaker. Say it 2, 3, 4 times if you need to. But those affirmations really do work. Every morning, this is how I try and wake up. Today, I'm going to make a success of my day. And you know what? It changes my whole attitude. It doesn't mean that I won't make any mistakes or things won't happen to me. Hey, life happens. However, if you're determined to be successful, if you're determined that you can do this, you can give a great presentation, chances are you'll be able to do so. Oh, there's one trick also I'd like you to try. It's the chopsticks method. So if you take those throwaway chopsticks, for example, those that you open like this, use one or the pair, put them in your mouth. Don't insert it like that. It defeats the purpose. I'm using my pen here, but if you don't have any chopsticks, you can use a pen, but make sure you disinfect it. So you put it in your mouth. You can start easily by putting the chopsticks either at the beginning or at the outer rim of your mouth, and then start practicing your speech. As you get used to it, you can insert the pen or the chopsticks a little bit deeper in your mouth. At that time, you'll find that your mouth, the muscles of your mouth, are going to be completely restricted. So your job here is to find all the muscles that are free and try to practice your text. It doesn't have to be the whole text. It could be just a few lines. What you can do, use your camera or your smartphone, record yourself first without the chopsticks, and then practice 5, 6, 7 times. And then after that, practice without. So that's before and after sequence. You'll see the difference right away. So the chopsticks method is an old theater trick, and it works immediately. The thing is, if you don't do this every day, your muscles will get back to their original positions. And if you don't have much time, do this for 1 or 2 minutes every day. If you can more, even better. But you need to do this until the muscles of your mouth have gotten accustomed. It's just like weightlifting for your arms. It's the same principle. So you have to do this on a regular basis. You're not going to work your arms only one day and expect the next day to have the right definition of muscles, right? So the same thing with your mouth. So before you speak, make sure you do a little warm up. Choose your tone. Are you going to be speaking in a friendly tone or a serious one? Decide where you're going to pause. So make it a strategy. Know in your script where a pause can be very effective to emphasize your message. When you use effective pauses, they really strengthen your message. You see, great speakers don't just speak. They perform with intention. The final takeaway. Your voice isn't just a tool. It's an experience. Use tone to connect, pace to guide, and volume to inspire. One very important thing is daily practice equals big growth over time. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped you, consider giving it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe because it really helps my channel. Subscribe because you'll get more great tips about public speaking. I left a little bonus in the comment section where you can find 10 common fears that people need to tackle before they even start speaking. See which ones apply to you. Also, check those 2 videos on your screen. They cover how public speaking can help you with mental wellness. So I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, goodbye.